My fiancée betrayed me with 3 strangers at her wild bachelorette bash. So I disappeared without a trace, and what happened next left her world in ruins, hiding a secret I never saw coming. Never forget the moment my world shattered. It wasn't a car crash, a courtroom defeat, or even the near-miss hit-and-run that had my heart pounding in Central Park just days before. No, it was quieter, more insidious. A velvet box left on my doorstep, its glittering contents mocking everything I thought I knew about the woman I loved. My name is Ethan Carter, a 32-year-old corporate lawyer clawing my way to the top of New York's cutthroat legal scene. For 6 years, I built a life with Sophia Bennett, my fiancée, the woman whose laugh could light up a room and whose secrets, I'd soon learn, could burn it all down. It started at a charity gala in Manhattan, back when we were 26, both of us young and hungry in our own ways. I was a junior associate, sharp-suited and sharper-witted, navigating a room full of Wall Street titans and socialites. Sophia was there, radiant in a crimson gown, her dark hair cascading over her shoulders, laughing with a group of donors who hung on her every word. I couldn't take my eyes off her. She had this energy, electric, almost reckless, that pulled me in like a moth to a flame. By the end of the night, we were tucked in a corner of the venue, sipping overpriced champagne and talking about everything from jazz to our dreams of escaping the city's grind. I was hooked. She was brilliant, witty, and alive in a way I'd never known. A few weeks later, we were inseparable. We moved into a sleek Upper East Side apartment 18 months after that, blending my structured life with her vibrant chaos. I'm a planner. Every case, every meeting, every damn coffee order is calculated to the minute. Sophia was the opposite, a whirlwind of spontaneity who thrived in the city's elite social circles. She was an influencer, her Instagram feed a curated masterpiece of rooftop parties, designer dresses, and exotic vacations. I didn't mind her world of glitz. It balanced my endless hours poring over contracts. I thought we were perfect together, my precision, her passion. When I proposed to her atop the Empire State Building, the city glittering below us, her tearful yes felt like the pinnacle of my life. The video of that moment went viral, our love story plastered across social media, the hashtag Ethan and Sophia trending for days. We were New York's golden couple, or so I believed. But Sophia loved the spotlight more than I ever realized. She craved exclusive parties, VIP lists, and the kind of reckless glamour that made my stomach churn. I tolerated it, chalking it up to her being young, free-spirited. Harmless, I told myself, just her way of blowing off steam. I was wrong, dead wrong. The first crack in my reality came a week ago when I was jogging through Central Park at dawn. I'm not one for conspiracies, but when a black sedan veered onto the path, its tires screeching, I dove into the grass just in time to avoid being flattened. My heart hammered as the car sped off, its license plate obscured by mud. I brushed it off as an accident, but the timing felt off. I'd been working on a high-stakes merger for a client, with ties to some shady players. Corporate espionage wasn't out of the question. The incident left me rattled, but I pushed it aside, focusing on the bigger picture, my career, my wedding, my future with Sophia. Then came the package. I wasn't supposed to be home that afternoon. A case had settled early, a rare win that freed up my day. I planned to surprise Sophia with dinner, maybe crack open that bottle of Bordeaux we'd been saving. But when I reached our apartment door, a velvet box sat on the mat, tied with a black ribbon and a tag that read, "To the Queen of the Night. You owned Vegas. Love, Vanessa." My stomach twisted. Vanessa was Sophia's best friend, a manipulative socialite who thrived on chaos. I'd never trusted her. Her sharp tongue and penchant for drama always set me on edge. But Sophia adored her, called her the sister she never had. I tolerated Vanessa for Sophia's sake, but that note, dripping with smug innuendo, hit me like a warning shot. I brought the box inside, setting it on our marble kitchen counter. For a moment I just stared at it, my lawyer's brain running through every possible scenario. It's nothing, I told myself, just some tacky bachelorette gift. But curiosity gnawed at me, the kind that makes you open a door you know you shouldn't. I untied the ribbon, lifted the lid, and found a diamond-encrusted bachelorette sash, a used men's tie that reeked of cheap cologne, and a USB drive nestled in black satin. My pulse quickened. Why a USB? Why the tie? I tried to laugh it off. Maybe it was a gag gift, some over-the-top Vegas joke. But the weight in my chest told me otherwise. I plugged the USB into my laptop, my hands shaking slightly, the screen flickered and a video began to play. It was Sophia's bachelorette party, held at a high-end Vegas club, all flashing lights and pulsing bass. There she was, my fiancée, in a glittering silver dress, the sash draped across her chest, laughing with a champagne flute in hand. She looked wild, untamed, her eyes sparkling with something I didn't recognize. Her friends, Vanessa at the helm, cheered her on, their voices slurred with alcohol. The camera zoomed in as Sophia climbed onto a VIP stage, grinding against a male stripper in a way that made my blood run cold. The crowd roared, Vanessa's voice cutting through. "Live it up, girl!" I paused the video, my breath shallow. This was her bachelorette party, I told myself. It's supposed to be wild. But the way she moved, the way she leaned into the stripper, wasn't just playful, it was intimate, deliberate. I hit play again, dreading what came next. The footage cut to Sophia leading the stripper and two other men. Tall, slick, the kind of guys who ooze arrogance, into a private suite. The camera followed, shaky but deliberate, capturing every damning moment. Sophia kissed one of them, then another, her hands roaming, as if I didn't exist. The final clip showed her entering a hotel room with all three, the door slamming shut as Vanessa's voice cackled. Legendary night. I sat there, frozen, the laptop screen casting a sickly glow across my face. My chest felt like it had been carved open. This wasn't the Sophia who curled up next to me on our couch, binge-watching old movies. This wasn't the woman who cried when I proposed, promising forever. This was a stranger, and I'd been a fool to think I knew her. That night, Sophia came home like nothing had happened. She kicked off her heels, kissed my cheek, and started rambling about wedding flowers and guest lists. I nodded, my jaw tight, forcing a smile while the video played on a loop in my mind. Every word she said felt like a lie, every touch a betrayal. I couldn't look at her without seeing those men, their hands on her, her laughter echoing. I didn't sleep that night. I lay in our king-sized bed, staring at the ceiling, the weight of 6 years crashing down. Had there been signs? Had I missed them? Was this the first time, or had she been playing me for years? I didn't know, and the not knowing was worse than the truth. The next morning, Sophia left for her influencer job, all smiles and I love yous. I waited until the door clicked shut, then sprang into action. I grabbed a suitcase from the closet and started packing. Clothes, laptop, chargers, anything I could carry. I didn't care about the furniture, the art, the life we'd built together. Let her keep it all. I just wanted out. As I stuffed my belongings into the bag, I realized I'd never done anything this impulsive. I'm the guy who plans every move, who maps out arguments like chess games. But now, I was running on instinct, driven by a need to escape the lie I'd been living. I needed somewhere quiet, somewhere to think. Hotels felt too sterile, too exposed. I Googled and found a secluded cabin in the Adirondacks, 2 hours from the city. It wasn't much, a king bed, a small kitchenette, a deck overlooking a lake. But it was perfect. I booked it for a week, paid up front, and didn't blink at the cost. Freedom was worth it. Before I left, I grabbed the folder of wedding contracts from my desk. No way was I paying for a farce. I called the venue, a historic estate we'd booked for the big day, and canceled it. The coordinator's voice was laced with pity. "I'm sorry, sir. Can I ask why?" I kept it vague. Change of plans. Life happens. She mentioned a $50,000 0 cents deposit we'd lose. But I didn't care. "Just cancel it," I said, and hung up. As I walked out of the apartment, suitcase in hand, I didn't look back. The drive to the Adirondacks was a blur, the GPS guiding me while my mind churned. Sophia's calls started halfway through, first 1, then 10, then 20. Texts flooded in. "Ethan, where are you? Babe, what's going on? Are you okay?" I ignored them all, my phone on silent. Her desperation a faint buzz I refused to acknowledge. I wasn't ready for her excuses, her tears, her lies. Not yet. The cabin was everything I needed, remote, quiet, a world away from Manhattan's chaos. I dumped my suitcase in the corner, sank onto the bed, and let out a shaky breath. For the first time, I felt the full weight of what I'd done. I'd left my fiancé, my home, my carefully constructed life. But as I stared at the lake through the window, a strange calm settled over me. This wasn't just a breakup. It was a reckoning. Then I found the camera. It was tucked behind a lamp in the bedroom, a tiny blinking light that made my stomach lurch. Someone was watching me. Was it Sophia? Vanessa? Or something connected to that hit and run, the sabotaged brakes I'd discovered that morning when my car nearly careened into Times Square traffic? A mechanic had confirmed the lines were cut, deliberate and clean. I ripped the camera from its hiding spot, my heart racing. Who the hell was doing this, and why? That night, as I sat on the deck with a glass of whiskey, a note slipped under the cabin door. I froze, the wind howling outside. I picked it up, my hands unsteady. Scrawled in Sharpie, "You're not the only one she betrayed." No signature, no explanation, just those words taunting me, pulling me deeper into a mystery I wasn't sure I wanted to solve. I called my parents, retired attorneys who'd seen their share of drama. My mom's voice was steady, practical. "Ethan, what happened?" I kept it vague. "Sophia's not who I thought. The wedding's off." My dad, ever the pragmatist, said, "Protect your career, son. Don't let this ruin you." They didn't push for details, which I appreciated, but their words echoed, "Protect your career." My firm had just handed me a high-profile merger case, a make-or-break moment for partnership. I couldn't afford to crack, not now. As I lay in the cabin's creaky bed, the note and camera burning holes in my thoughts, another shock hit. Rummaging through my suitcase, I found a burner phone I didn't recognize slipped into a side pocket. It wasn't mine. I powered it on and a string of texts loaded, all from an unknown number. "She's playing you." Vegas wasn't the first time. Check her accounts. My blood ran cold. Sophia had secrets beyond that night, and someone wanted me to know. The next morning, my phone buzzed with a call from my boss. "Ethan, rumors are flying about your personal life. Focus on the merger, or you're out." I gripped the phone, my world spinning. Between the sabotage, the camera, the note, and now my career hanging by a thread, I knew one thing: Sophia's betrayal was just the beginning. And I was going to find out how deep this rabbit hole went. Thought the worst was over. I thought leaving Sophia, canceling the wedding, and retreating to this isolated cabin in the Adirondacks would give me clarity. A chance to rebuild the pieces of my shattered life. I was wrong. The truth about Sophia's betrayal was just the first domino, and now they were falling faster than I could keep up. Each new revelation, each cryptic note, each near-death scare dragged me deeper into a web of lies I hadn't seen coming. My name is Ethan Carter, and this is how I learned that betrayal isn't just personal. Sometimes it's a conspiracy. The morning after I found the hidden camera in my cabin, I woke to the sound of my phone buzzing like a trapped hornet. It was Sophia again, her texts a desperate cascade of pleas. "Ethan, please, I'm falling apart, I need you." I was drunk, it wasn't me. I deleted them without reading the rest. Her words were hollow, a performance from a woman who'd played me for years. But the burner phone I'd found in my suitcase, that was another story. Its screen glowed with messages from an unknown number, each one a needle in my gut. "She's been lying for months. Check her emails. You're not safe." I didn't know who was sending them or why, but they were too specific to ignore. Whoever this was, they knew things about Sophia I hadn't even begun to unravel. I was still gripping the phone when a sharp crack echoed outside, like a branch snapping underfoot. My heart leapt. I crept to the window, peering through the blinds. The lake was still, the trees swaying gently in the morning breeze, but the hairs on my neck stood up. Someone was out there. I'd felt it yesterday, too, during that terrifying hike when an unseen figure chased me through the woods. I'd barely escaped, scrambling over rocks and ducking into a ravine, my lungs burning as I hid until the footsteps faded. I told myself it was a hunter, a hiker, anything but what my gut screamed, someone connected to Sophia's secrets. Now, with the camera and the note, You're not the only one she betrayed. I wasn't so sure. I needed answers, and Vanessa was my first target. She wasn't just Sophia's enabler, she was the architect of that Vegas night, the one who'd left the damning package on my doorstep. I used a burner app to text her, keeping it vague but sharp. Meet me at Rusty's Diner in Brooklyn, noon. We need to talk about Sophia. Her reply came fast, all fake concern. Ethan, what's going on? Is Sophia okay? I didn't respond. Let her sweat. Rusty's was a dive, all cracked vinyl booths and greasy air, a far cry from the glitzy Manhattan lounges Vanessa ruled. I arrived early, staking out a corner booth with a clear view of the door. My briefcase sat beside me, stuffed with screenshots of her texts to Sophia, "He'll never know, live your truth," and a copy of the Vegas video. I was done playing nice. When Vanessa walked in, she was a walking cliché. Designer sunglasses perched on her head, a pink Gucci blazer screaming money, and a smirk that said she thought she could charm her way out of anything. "Ethan," she purred, sliding into the booth. "You scared me with that text. What's this about?" I didn't bother with pleasantries. "Cut the act, Vanessa. I saw the video. The package you left? Real classy. You think you can orchestrate Sophia's betrayal and walk away clean?" Her smirk faltered, but she recovered fast, tossing her hair. "Oh, come on, Ethan. It was a bachelorette party. Girls get wild. You're not seriously mad about a little fun, are you?" I slid my phone across the table, the screen glowing with her text. Her eyes widened, but she laughed, a brittle sound. "You're blowing this out of proportion. Sophia was just letting loose. It's tradition." "Tradition?" I snapped, leaning forward. "You call cheating with 3 guys tradition? You recorded it, Vanessa. You sent me the evidence like a trophy." Her face flushed, and she glanced around, clearly worried about eavesdroppers. "Look, I didn't force her," she hissed. "Sophia's a big girl. She made her choices." I leaned closer, my voice low and cold. "You egged her on. You wanted her to crash and burn. Why? What's in it for you?" For a split second, her mask slipped, and I saw something. Fear? Maybe guilt, before she covered it with a scoff. "You're paranoid, Ethan. It was just a party." That's when I overheard her phone call. She'd stepped outside to take it, but the diner's thin walls didn't hide much. "D, it's me," she whispered. "He knows. We need to move faster." My blood ran cold. D? A deal? Was Sophia's betrayal part of something bigger? I didn't have time to process it before my own phone buzzed. It was my boss, Charles, his voice clipped. "And we need to talk. A rival firm's spreading rumors about your personal life. Clients are asking questions. Get your head in the game or you're off the merger case." I gripped the phone, my career, the one thing I had left, slipping through my fingers. Vanessa returned, her smirk back in place. "Trouble at work?" she taunted. I stood, towering over her. "This isn't over, Vanessa. I'm leaking the video to everyone you know. Let's see how your socialite friends like you then." Her face went white. You wouldn't?" I did. By the time I left the diner, I'd emailed the video and screenshots to a handful of trusted friends. Mark, Chloe, a few others from our circle who'd always been straight with me. I wasn't just exposing Sophia, I was burning Vanessa's carefully curated world to the ground. Let them both face the consequences. Driving back to the cabin, I couldn't shake the feeling I was being watched. The black SUV tailing me confirmed it. It appeared out of nowhere on the highway, keeping a steady distance, but never overtaking. My palms sweated as I gripped the wheel, the storm clouds overhead mirroring the chaos in my head. I took a sharp detour onto a winding back road, rain pounding the windshield, and floored it. The SUV followed, its headlights cutting through the downpour. My heart raced as I swerved through the storm, narrowly avoiding a ditch. Finally, after a heart-stopping 10 minutes, I lost them, pulling into a gas station and hiding behind a truck. My hands shook as I checked the rearview mirror. Who the hell was after me? Sophia? Vanessa? Or this mysterious D? Back at the cabin, I found a voicemail from Eleanor, Sophia's mother. Her voice was trembling, raw. "Ethan, we saw the video. Sophia's a wreck. We're devastated, and we blame you for airing our family's shame. Please call us." I deleted it. Blame me. They'd raised a daughter who thought betrayal was a game. Let them deal with her. But as I unpacked my suitcase, another shock hit. Many Americans in devastation, many Soviet sisters did not hit. Tucked inside a folded shirt was a photo I hadn't seen before. Sophia, smiling, arm in arm with a man I didn't recognize, dated 6 weeks before Vegas. The timestamp burned into my brain. This wasn't a one-night mistake. She'd been cheating for months. The next day, I drove to the Upper West Side to confront Richard and Eleanor, Sophia's parents. They were old-money socialites, the kind who hosted charity balls but sneered at anyone beneath them. They'd never liked me, a self-made lawyer who didn't come from their world. When we got engaged, they'd softened, offering to fund half the wedding, but I always felt their judgment. Now, I was done playing nice. I pulled up to their penthouse, my laptop in hand, the video ready. Eleanor opened the door, her face a mix of relief and worry. "Ethan, thank God! What's happening? Sophia's a mess." Richard sat in his study, sipping scotch, his eyes narrowing as I entered. "You've got some explaining to do, Carter." I didn't sit. I'm not here to explain. I'm here to show you the truth. I opened my laptop and hit play. Eleanor gasped as the Vegas video unfolded, her hand flying to her mouth. Richard's face turned crimson, his glass trembling. "This can't be real," Eleanor whispered, tears streaming. Richard stood, pacing, his voice a low growl. "That girl, we raised her better than this." I leaned back, my voice steady. She didn't just betray me, she made a spectacle of it, and Vanessa cheered her on. "Your perfect daughter's a lie." Eleanor collapsed onto the couch, sobbing. Richard slammed his fist on the desk. "We'll disown her, she's no daughter of ours." I expected them to beg me to stay quiet, to protect their pristine reputation. Instead, Richard's eyes burned with rage. "You've humiliated us, Ethan. You think you can ruin our family and walk away?" I stood my ground. "She's your problem now. I'm done cleaning up her messes." Eleanor grabbed my arm as I turned to leave. "Please, don't tell anyone else. Think of our name." I pulled away. "Your name's not my concern anymore." The drive back was a nightmare. The black SUV was back, tailing me through the storm. Rain lashed my windshield, and my tires skidded on the slick roads. I took a risky detour, weaving through narrow country lanes, my heart pounding as the SUV kept pace. Lightning cracked, illuminating the driver's silhouette. Dark glasses, a hood. Who the hell was this? I floored it, nearly spinning out, and finally lost them in a maze of back roads. By the time I reached the cabin, I was soaked, shaking, and convinced this was no coincidence. Someone wanted me scared. Or worse. Inside, I found another cryptic email. "She's not the only one lying to you." No sender, no signature, just that chilling line. My paranoia spiked. Was Vanessa in deeper than I thought? Was Dee pulling strings? Or was Sophia's betrayal tied to my work, to the merger case that had already nearly gotten me killed? My phone buzzed again. Claire, one of Sophia's friends from the Bachelorette party, her voice was shaky, even. "I was there, but I swear I tried to stop her. Don't drag me into this," I cut her off. "You watched her cheat, Claire. You're just as guilty." She sobbed, her words spilling out. "Sophia said she felt trapped. She said your life was too perfect, too suffocating." I hung up, her words cutting deeper than I expected. Trapped. By me. The next morning, my client, a tech CO named Victor Lang, called. "Ethan, I hear you're distracted. Personal dramas all over the city. Fix it, or you're off my case." I clenched my jaw. My career, my one anchor, was slipping away. I needed to act fast. I widened the leak, sending the video to Sophia's influencer colleagues, her sponsors, her entire network. By noon, her social media was a war zone. Trolls tearing her apart, brands dropping her. Chloe texted me, "Sophia's done, her career's toast." I felt a flicker of satisfaction, but it was short-lived. Vanessa's next move was a text, venomous and direct. "You've ruined me, Ethan. You'll pay for this." I ignored it, but Claire called again, frantic. Sophia and Vanessa had a huge fight. Vanessa's saying Sophia set her up, and Sophia's blaming Vanessa for everything. I smirked. Let them tear each other apart. But then, Chloe dropped a bombshell. Richard and Eleanor had cut Sophia off completely. They'd kicked her out, left her bags on the curb, and pulled strings to get her fired from her influencer agency. Sophia was homeless, jobless, and alone. Her texts grew more desperate. "Ethan, I have nothing. I was drugged in Vegas, I swear. Please, give me a chance." I didn't buy it. Drugged? Convenient. But the burner phone's messages kept nagging at me. I powered it on, scrolling through new texts. "She's got a secret account, offshore, look deeper." My heart stopped. I hacked into Sophia's email. Years as a lawyer taught me a few tricks, and found it. A hidden account in the Caymans, $200,000, 0 cents transferred over months, dated before the wedding. She wasn't just cheating, she'd been planning to leave me, to take the money and run. The final blow came from Mark. Sophia is living in a motel in Queens, working at a dive bar. Her friends won't touch her. She's broken, man. I leaned back in the cabin's creaky chair, the lake shimmering outside. For years, I'd built a life for us, planned every detail, loved her with everything I had, and she'd thrown it away. Not just for one night, but for months, maybe years. But as her world crumbled, I felt something shift. The weight of her betrayal was still there, but so was a spark of something new. Freedom, maybe, or resolve. I wasn't the man who proposed to her anymore. I was someone else. Someone who'd survived her lies, the hit and run, the sabotaged brakes, the chase in the woods, the SUV in the storm. Someone was still out there, watching, waiting, but I wasn't running anymore. I'd expose every secret, every lie, until the truth was all that remained, and when it was over, I'd rebuild. Not for Sophia, not for her parents, not for Vanessa, or anyone else. For me. As I stared at the lake, my phone buzzed one last time. Another email. No sender. "You're closer than you think. Watch your back." I smiled, a cold, determined grin. Let them come. I was ready.